The guy who owns the car isn't interested in selling this thing.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if it's got a fucking Rubik's Cube in the back as an engine and the whole thing has been bondoed together with duct tape and Band-Aids.
Kind of looks like it has.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dur or Die, the Porsche podcast that doesn't suck. Okay, it kind of sucks, but my name is. They really do, including this one. My name is John Polnik. I'm your host, along with my partner, Duane Wik. Look at that! I put his lower third up before I put his picture. Wave to the camera, Duane Wik. How are you, buddy?
I am excellent, JP. What a day! It's super bright. It's sunny. Okay, not really. It looks like it's going to rain, but I'm getting a beam of light coming in. So.
Usually we record this podcast at night, right?
We do indeed. It's sunny in my world, so you know, so bright I got to wear shades.
Lots of liquor is usually happening. It's funny because I'm the one that. Oh, look at that!
I mean, it was just automatic. I walked in the studio. I just felt the need, even though it's 11.
It's 11 in the morning. I mean, Dwayne's drinking a beer in the studio.
Not? It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
What's that joke about Charlie Sheen? It's like that Gervais did on. I don't know. Just making the fun of the fact that he was doing so many drugs, and that's just a normal Tuesday to him.
Right. We record this at the container park. Usually we do it Thursday nights, and today it's during the day. They're building. Life is beautiful out there. We got Mikey P in the house, just kind of hanging out.
Mikey.
He's not running the board or anything like that. No. I'm actually doing this.
He's playing Tetris on his laptop right now. So
yeah, you cannot blame him for the lousy production value of today's show.
I got to say real quick, we're in an actual container. I don't know if people realize that, but the container park is literal containers stacked on top of each other.
Yeah,
which is why it's only 8 feet wide by 20 feet long.
Yeah,
or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I guess
it's
10 by
at least the height is higher
30.
than a normal container park.
Oh yeah, it's
so
like
we've
double
got
tall.
A 14-foot ceiling in here.
Yeah.
Can you see all the lights up there? Oh, look at that. That's terribly exciting. Everyone really wanted to see that.
I thought that's cool. You've seen these like architectural shows where like we got to do something with all these containers. Vegas actually did. So props to Tony Hsieh and the late Tony Hsieh and to Vegas for creating the container park.
Before I moved here, a friend actually it was a client in Seattle was like, oh, you got to check this thing out. And he showed me this random video of the launch of this particular facility, of the container park. And I remember going, wow, that place is really cool. That was probably like 10 years ago or something, like 8 years ago.
Right.
And I never in a million years would have thought that I would have a space in the container park and live a block from here.
And be doing a crappy Porsche podcast.
Well, that was
that you knew.
A crappy fill in the blank anything is pretty par for my course. Kind of like buying crappy cars lately. I have been just like, oh my gosh, my 964 that I just bought. The
you bought another car and you bought a cab, so that had to be a happy moment for you because I mean you got back to your
I'm
roots.
Not a cabriophobe. I bought that 86 backdate that I've wanted for a long time, and now it turns out there's like a wiring harness problem. I'm pretty scared about how much that's gonna F me over. But then
there
it's
was
like, okay,
melty wires in the dash, which is never a good
that's
sign.
Never a good sign. So that's.
But you were never far from your cab. I mean, you were only what 30 days before cabless, and then you finally got
that's
back
true
into
because I got rid of the R8, and then I was like, no, I can't do this. I got to get an air car.
Got to feel the wind blowing through the baldness.
It's like when you lose your hand, people have that ghost feeling.
Oh,
like toes
the ghost
or
hair.
whatever that they feel like you still have their hand. Same thing with hair, especially because in a convertible. But no, I wanted to add a convertible to the. I'm like Ben.
It's actually, to be fair, it's a really nice cab from what I saw. I haven't seen it in person yet, but it's black.
It's black on black, 964.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, 964 obviously is super super cool.
It's a Hank.
Do you want to tell the story and how you acquired it, or?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe after the break. Maybe that would be a good topic to kind of like if this other one kind of falls flat. I wanted to bring up something that I saw on our interwebs here the other day. You know, the interwebs. Maybe you've heard of it on the Instagram and the Facebook.
Got a 56K modem, so I'm on the AOL.
Mm-hmm. So
welcome.
Have you guys heard of PCLUB? Have you heard of PCLUB? It's
every night about 3 a.m.
Look at that, you went there. The PCLUB is just another Porsche club. It's not like a PCA. It's a much smaller group. It popped up. I don't know how old it is. It's been around for a little while.
Is this a fake Facebook page or this is an actual club?
It's an actual. I don't know if there's in dues or if you have to register.
Are there
or whatever.
jackets?
I think it's just an internet like group that a bunch of people get together, and I think it's out of Las Vegas right here.
It's in Vegas?
Yeah, Vegas and LA. It looks like most of the people, it appears to me to be mostly newer cars, the members of this car. If you're a member of P Club, tell us about it. Maybe come on the show or something like that, and maybe you can plug the P Club. But I have been following them. I am a member on of the group on Facebook. Somehow, for some reason, they let me in. But something struck me recently that I thought was interesting that we should talk about on the show. Have you, like, your dad had a 928 for a little while, right?
Right.
Have you ever had a desire to find that car and own it?
A little bit, but the weird thing is he had 20 some cars.
Yeah.
By the time he died. So I had my choice of like cars that I thought, oh, I have, sentimental value tied up in this one. I remember this one. He did have a 27 Ford Model A pickup truck, hot rod, which was really fun. And I had a lot of really cool memories driving around in that truck. So if I saw it and if it were for sale, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
However, I'm not like trying to track down some of his vehicles that he sold.
Yeah. Well, that's what was interesting about this particular post that I saw. And, you hear those stories all the time. Someone our age, that's usually why people get old air-cooled Porsches, because they have some affinity to them when they were younger.
Right.
That was the car they wanted. But sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes dad had one or grandfather had one or something like that. My dad
was it you?
Didn't
Your
have a
neighbor
Porsche.
was a doctor or something?
No,
okay.
No, not at all.
Maybe
well, no, the
Magnus
neighbor
Walker.
had a neighbor had a 914 sort of. It was a long story, but
okay.
Now, so this there was a post by a guy on the P Club, and he was like, hey, I am trying to find my grandfather's 73 Porsche 911T. And so he enlisted the group to help him do so, and so this was the post. I'm going to put it up on display here, maybe if it works. Maybe not. Let's see here. Maybe I can do this one. Sorry, guys, okay, here we go. So I'll put it up on the screen real quick, and then I'll bring it back to us.
The thing is, if it was his grandfather's, did his dad also drive it?
Well, let me read the post. Okay. It's a little long. And so he said, P Club, you all rock. Apparently, the club helped him find the car. We found my grandfather's 1973 Porsche 911T. Woohoo! Who writes woohoo? Sounds like something Mikey would do. I like that hat, Mikey. He's got the Maui gold hat on there. Now I need some what is that? Okay, so I'm just reading the text. Grammatically, there's some issues here. Now I need some trying to figure out what a good offer is to make on it. Here is what I know. 1973 Porsche 911T, salvage title, converted to an RSR Tribute track car. Street legal when current owner purchased it in 1995. Full records and details missing. Engine is not numbers matching. Most metal body is now fiberglass. Original interior. Rear tires are 345.
Oh my God.
What the ? Transmission is good. Ellipses. I hate ellipses.
I like them. I used them way too much for a while, and then I stopped because
it's
just laziness.
It's bad writing.
It is bad writing,
especially like in screenplays and stuff. Ellipses are like the kiss of death.
Screenplays.
If you ever try to sell a screenplay and put ellipses in it, they will immediately
trash it.
Okay, I got proof of life and VIN-PIC. I had to prove to this guy, some rando,
the
current owner of the car. I was legit, as he said he had another guy call him that wasn't one of you knuckleheads ? LOL. God, this is just horrible. Okay, what do you all think it's worth?
It's Facebook.
Yeah, it's Facebook.
He has some forgiveness.
Okay, I found a numbers matching 1973 911T for $87,000. Bins are only
wait. Let's stop right there.
Okay.
That's not the same car in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Numbers matching, keyword.
Hold on. I'm with you. Hold that thought because I want to continue this because it
got me all excited.
I know, right? Okay. So he brings up the fact that he found a matching numbers car. So first of all, he's saying, okay, he's basically asking the club, what should I ask this guy?
Gotcha.
Right? You know, how much should I offer him? And here's a comp, or the best comp he could find.
Right.
Right. But
Same
this
year,
is
right?
this is the part that really got me to almost fall off the toilet. Because let's be honest,
that's when
where you read something as stupid as this. When I spoke to the owner, he was a bit rude in the beginning. Probably suspect of me. But when I showed him some documents, he opened up. I feel like he thinks he has a holy grail of Porsches. I just showed him this line. I just showed him my GT4. Ellipses, LOL, JK. Joking.
Well, street cred. He had to prove that he's a Porsche enthusiast.
Because he has a car that anyone can get. That if someone shows me their GT4, I think less of them.
You hang up.
I love GT4s, don't get me wrong, but that does not give you Porsche cred. That just means you have credit.
You have enough money to be able to make an offer on his car.
Okay, so any thoughts, ideas, etc. are welcome. Thank you. And there you guys, I'll show a picture of the car here. Hey guys, I'm super excited to tell you about our sponsor, Guys Customs. That's Guys, GYX _customs. That's how you spell it. Guys Customs bracelets. These things are amazing. Check them out. They're handmade in America, custom bracelets made to match your watch or your car. These things are unbelievable. I have 3 or 4 of them myself. My partner Michael Deeb has a bunch of them. They're pretty addictive once you get one. Each one of them are bespoke. We're talking carbon fiber. We're talking titanium. We're talking stainless steel, glass. There's none of this cheap Chinese garbage that you see a lot of bracelets being made out there. These ones are super high quality. They're made right here in America. When you go to Guys Customs on Instagram, it's about the only place that you can order one of these. When you DM the artist, you're actually reaching the real artist when you DM Guys Customs at Instagram. And she will make you a bracelet made to match that special watch, that special car, or that special person that has a special watch or a special car and they want something really, really cool in their life. They make the most amazing gifts. I get compliments on mine all the time. Everywhere I go, people are like, wow, that's really cool. You can see in the pictures, these beads, the colored beads are PTS. They're paint to sample. So if you have a specific color code for your car, she'll have beads made that are specifically painted to match your car or your watch. It's unbelievable. You got to get one of these Guys Customs bracelets. Check them out. They support us, and we really, really, really want to support them. Guys Customs bracelets. Okay, Duane,
show me the car first.
What do you think of this whole process?
So many thoughts. First of all, the juice is so not worth the squeeze on this car because I understand. Well, maybe. So I understand the sentimental value, the nostalgia of it being grandfather's or whatever. We don't know. Did he actually ride in it with his dad? Did he drive it at one point? Is there more to just the fact that it was owned by his grandfather? Did his grandfather buy it new? These are all things that have to be weighed and considered. However, salvage title, that's killing me. Non-numbers matching, that's killing me. IROC conversion, and I love it. I almost made my wide body an IROC. I love the IROC. Oh my God. So
if you're just listening, Duane is now looking at the car. A picture
so
this of the car.
This is a IROC with like a RSR.
Well,
vent.
it's a G body hood too.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's a long hood that's been converted to an IROC look with an RSR vent and wrong mirrors. So there's a lot wrong with it. It's all fiberglass is what he said too. It's like a $60,000 car, maybe, depending on the motor health, in my opinion.
I'd be shocked if it was worth even that. Here's the thing, though. I don't even care what it's worth.
Right. That's not really the issue.
That isn't the issue at all. Like,
right.
trying to appraise this car is...
beside the point.
Is really just not the issue, right? The fact that this guy wanted to find his grandfather's car, that's kind of cool. All right. I can't relate, but that's cool. And I can totally see. All right. He reaches out to the current owner and this, so I start reading the thread and I start looking at some of the responses. But quick update. Here was his response in mind. I doubt he will respond. I feel like he thinks he has something worth way more than the roller, no engine, fiberglass, something he thinks he has. So then
there's no engine?
I don't.
This is a $30,000 car.
I think he's just saying, no, it has an engine.
Because it's not a numbers matching.
Engine, right?
Gotcha.
So this guy's English is poor or writing ability. He's just popping up. But, I'm putting up what he says. So this is the actual seller. We can't see the whole thread. This is just a selection, right? Tribute at under 100K. I don't have interest in selling. Thank you for reaching out. All right. Response of this guy that's trying to buy the car. I'm not opposed to that price.
Oh my
Not
God.
sure what gave you that impression. Can we set up a time to meet and see the car? I'd like to bring a Porsche appraiser and friend who is versed more than me in this year in tribute style at my expense. If I'm going to spend over 6 figures as a Porsche owner yourself, you can understand. If that doesn't work, then I wish you all the best. The guy who owns the car isn't interested in selling this thing. It doesn't matter if it's got a fucking Rubik's Cube in the back as an engine and the whole thing has been bondoed together with duct tape and Band-Aids.
Kind of looks like it has.
Right. And it kind of does look like that.
I mean, it's
but
not bad.
the guy that owns the car was not interested in selling it. It wasn't for sale somewhere. It's like when and I'm sure you've had this experience. If you drive an air-cooled 911, you pull up into a gas station and some jerk in a pickup truck, hey, you want to sell that? Is that car for sale?
Yeah, I had a guy come to my house.
Right.
Left the garage door open. Huge
God.
rookie mistake. And some guy rolls in, and I wasn't even home. He actually gave my wife his phone number. That was the first time. The second time, I was home, and he rings my doorbell, asks me if I want to sell, and then offers me $20,000. I'm like,
right.
Because I said yes. I said, sure. Because money talks, right? I mean...
if you're going up to someone who actually owns a Porsche, right? That's the thing. It's like, because I've had the same thing happen numerous times, and then they make you that dirtbag offer, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's not worth that. And like says the guy that doesn't own one, you came to me, man.
Well, he said $20,000, and then he was like, oh, well, your price is more like turbo. And I was like, have you looked at air-cooled Porsches recently? But anyway,
those guys, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're scammers. They're Johnny-come-latelys. They're flippers. They're clearly not enthusiasts that actually want the car. Here's another part of the thread. He says, actually, sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to get this loaded up here. More of the guy who's trying to buy the car. Well, doesn't look like this will end in my favor. This guy thinks he has 100,000 plus IROC RSR tribute. I even offered to pay for it to be properly appraised. Sorry, I'm having a hard time reading this here, guys. Nope, I'm sure I know why. It's not worth nearly what he thinks it is. Maybe it will be mine one day. Sad face. I hate this dude.
I don't.
I hate this dude because of his attitude towards the seller.
Okay, now that I agree with. He took the completely wrong approach.
Yeah.
With that, in a special situation like that, what I would have done, I'm not saying it would have been any more successful, but you find out the guy's phone number, you give him a call, and then you start with the history of the car. You're like, hey Jim, I noticed you have this car. Here's my story about my grandfather. We used to ride around in this car. It means so much to me. And listen, man, if there comes a time you want to get rid of the car, you want to sell it, please consider me.
Yeah.
And that gets the wheels turning. You don't offer to buy right away. You don't say I have a GT4. You don't say I have $100,000, because now you reek of desperation. You reek of
flexing.
You're flexing. You're like, I'm trying to buy your very special Porsche out from underneath you, right? So I do think his approach was all wrong. If that's the way he did it, I don't know.
What's Fonzie like?
He's cool, man.
He's cool, man. You got to be cool.
You got to be cool.
You got to go to for
Almost
someone
didn't
who's
get that
not
reference.
selling the car. You reach out to some rando. If someone reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I want to buy your car," it was my grandfather's. I'd be like, "Oh, okay, that's cool. It's not for sale.
The price is climbing
but sounds like a you problem, buddy. Not mine. It doesn't matter what my car is worth. You want it because it has value that has nothing to do what the car actually is. Your appraiser in this scenario means nothing. If
That's
I were
even
actually,
gross. Like
Right.
like I want to bring an appraiser because the whole
That's an
idea is
insult.
like it's an insult, and it's also like the appraiser's not going to appraise it for $100,000.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the seller's
Yeah,
like
you're right.
the seller is like
You're
you know
putting the non-seller seller in a position to look like a jerk.
right.
Oh, I'm going to bring in an appraiser, and then you're going to ask more for it. Oh, you're such a bad guy, or oh, you have to defend your car. There's nothing worse than having to defend your car against someone who thinks it's not worth what you think it's worth, especially if it's not for effing sale.
Right.
You know, I agree with you 100%. You got to reach out to this guy, tell him the story, say, hey, get on the list. And by the way, do you have a mailing address? Can I send you a bottle of scotch? Just keep me on the list if you ever want to sell this thing.
And then what happens is it's called the shower moment. We call that a shower moment in film, where you watch a movie, or the refrigerator moment, whatever. You watch a movie, you go home. It might be a day later, it might be a month later. You open up the refrigerator, or you're sitting there in the shower and you're like, there was this moment in the film that now I'm thinking about. That's the way it is with this sale.
Yeah.
You plant the seed essentially, and then they contact you. Sometimes, not always. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Or if you played your cards right, they'll oftentimes reach out, and then you begin the process of true negotiation. You come over, you see the car, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember this memory or whatever. And it's true.
Yeah.
It's not like you're bull crapping this guy. You know, you're really telling him, and then you get to meet him, you break down the walls, and before you know it, you're driving the car home.
And you're a guy who's done all the work on these cars. Who knows how much of this work, regardless of whether or not we think it looks good or not, how much of the work the owner of the car did. I mean, you can't put a price on that.
Yeah,
I mean,
like if it was
he
his
did all
baby,
this stuff,
sure.
You know, and you're going to come in and insult him and say it's not whatever. I mean, that just seems like super, super dick move. It seems like, and that's the problem with new Porsche owners, I think a lot of times, is that they come in and, you know, GT4 guys, they don't understand the culture. They really, really don't. And this guy just seems to really be missing it. So
he could start over though. If you're watching this, you still have a chance. I think wait a little while for the waters to settle. Reach out a second time, maybe in a month or two, and just be like, listen, man, I was super excited to see the car. I apologize if I came off in a wrong way. Just put me on your list. If you do ever decide to sell it, I'd love to be considered.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. And then that will probably, you know, change his whole demeanor in terms of whether or not he would reach out.
Brian, maybe I'm being a little too hard on you, but I think you really screwed the pooch on this
I think
one.
I know.
Brian,
that name sounds familiar.
Dowd? I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure he's a nice guy. But look, if you want this car, it's a long play. The car wasn't for sale. If you discover a car that was owned by your grandfather for sale somewhere, then it's like, oh, okay, game on. The guy actually wants to sell. But if for someone who doesn't want to sell something, and who knows how much time and effort, talking about what the car is actually worth street value is just an insult to that owner.
Totally.
The only way you're getting this car is if you can appeal to him on a personal level and make it worth his while. Look, if the numismatic value versus
wait, the what?
Numismatic value?
Okay.
Big words. Look that up.
Is this going on
numismatic?
Wait, this is going on JP's made up word list.
Yeah. If you have a gold bar is worth whatever the spot price of gold is, right? But if you have a gold doubloon that was retrieved from a sunken pirate ship off of the coast of Venezuela or something like that, that thing has numismatic value. That is value above and beyond. That is the collector value of just the raw value of materials, right?
Okay.
This car, to this person who wants to buy it, sorry, dude, it's worth way more to you than it is to anyone else because of whose it was. You could go buy another 73 911T and make that a tribute to your grandfather's car. And you could say, okay, I'm driving around a car that was like the one he had. But let's face it, the one he actually had is worth way more. And if you had unlimited look, if you're Elon Musk or something like that, and do you think Elon Musk would be like, I'm going to send an appraiser over? If he wants that car, he's just going to, how much do you want for it? What's the number? Here it is. It doesn't matter because it's worth more than whatever the cash value of that car is. It's the only way you're getting this car, dude. Because if I'm selling this car and if it wasn't for sale, Be like, that's great. I'll let you drive it or something, but no. Or unless you make it seriously worth my value. Guys, what do you think? Is this is Brian just totally screwed? I am impressed by this PCLUB that they found the car.
Shout out to
That's really cool.
PCLUB, because they're the ones who actually found the car and put them in contact with the seller or the owner, I should say. Yeah.
Well, that's it. What do you guys think? Tell us in the comments below. If you haven't hit the subscribe, like, or notification button yet, what are you doing, man? Come on, or gal. We're making a show just for you. We know that there's people watching that aren't.
It's really for us.
It really is.
It's for us, but you can come hang out as well.
Dwayne, I feel really weird not drinking here.
You should join me. Let's do one more.
I have actual work to do after this. Mikey's here. We got work to do. We're doing things. I can't be like, all right, where's the scotch? I'm gonna get the
Cheers.
Scotch. Guys, thanks for hanging out. We will see you next time on the Dur or Die podcast. Subscribe, like, see you later. Bye.
See you.